Hey there. Ever stop and really think about where your food comes from? I mean, before it gets to the store or your plate? It's kind of wild, because every single ingredient has its own secret origin story. So today, let's put on our detective hats. We're going to become food detectives and trace some everyday foods all the way back to the start.
Yup, we are diving headfirst into a delicious mystery. You see, every food we eat has this hidden journey, and a lot of the time, that story is a bit of a puzzle we are about to solve together. Okay, think about something like a slice of pizza. On the surface, it's just pizza. But if you really break it down, where does it all begin? The crust, the cheese, the sauce, they didn't just appear out of nowhere. So, let's investigate.
Now, to solve this mystery, we need to understand one simple but super important rule. It might sound complicated, but it all boils down to this. Pretty much everything we eat comes from one of just two major categories. Just two.
And here they are, the two big food groups, plants and animals. That's it. On one side, you have plants, everything that grows in the ground or on trees and bushes, all starting from a little seed. And on the other side, you've got animals, not just the ones that walk, swim, or fly, but also the things they give us, like milk and eggs. This is our foundation. Simple, right?
All right, now for the fun part, the great food sort. Now that we know the basic rules, let's put our knowledge to the test. Let's see if we can figure out where a few different foods belong.
Okay, let's start with a really easy one. What about a nice, shiny apple? Plant or animal?
Of course, it's a plant. Apples grow on trees, so that one's a no-brainer.
Okay, next up, how about a nice cold glass of milk?
You got it. That's from an animal. Milk comes from cows, putting it squarely in the animal family.
All right, let's keep it going. What about a crunchy carrot?
You guessed it, it's a plant. Carrots grow right down there in the dirt.
Okay, one more for the easy round. What about a piece of chicken?
Definitely an animal. See? The basics are pretty clear, but things are about to get a little more interesting.
Welcome to the next level, decoding tricky treats. This is where your detective skills are really going to be put to the test, because now we're looking at foods that are made from other foods.
So what about something like bread? I mean, you can't just wander outside and pick a fresh loaf from a bread tree, can you? So where does it actually come from?
To figure this out, we have to trace its journey backward. Bread is made from flour. And where does flour come from? It's made by grinding up wheat. And what is wheat? It's a plant that grows in a field. So follow the clues and you find out that bread actually comes from a plant.
Okay, here's your next case. A delicious slice of cheese. It doesn't grow in the ground, and it definitely doesn't walk around. So what's the story here?
Let's follow the evidence. How is cheese made? Well, it starts when a cow, which is an animal, gives us milk. That milk is collected, and then through a cool process, it's turned into cheese. So since the main ingredient, milk, comes from an animal, that means cheese comes from an animal.
So you see the secret trick? The crucial point for any of these tricky foods is that you have to look at the main ingredient. That's your biggest clue. It will always lead you back to one of our two families, plants or animals.
And just like that, you have all the basic tools to be an amazing food detective. So let's do a quick recap of your official detective toolkit.
Okay, remember these fundamentals. Number 1, all food comes from either plants or animals, period. Number 2, plants are the things that grow in the ground or on trees. Number 3, animals are the things that walk, swim, fly, or give us stuff like milk and eggs. And the golden rule, for tricky foods, always check the main ingredient.
And that brings us all the way back to our first mystery, the pizza. With our new rules, the answer is easy. The crust is made from flour, which comes from wheat, a plant. And the cheese is made from milk, which comes from a cow, an animal. So that one slice of pizza comes from both food families working together. Case closed.
And now it's your turn. The next time you open your fridge or look in your pantry, I want you to put on your detective glasses. Pick something out and see if you can trace its story all the way back to the beginning. So, what will you discover in your kitchen today?